Hey guys, you're watching the one and only. My name is AJ. Welcome back to another episode of A Functional Village. Are you ready? We've done that now. Screw it. It's too much to go through anymore. I'm not going to list them all off. If you haven't seen what we've done, then I've got a playlist of this series. You can go through each episode if you have missed one. Today, I want to work on the well. Oh, it's a little baby. We're going to work on the well. Something that I had actually overlooked. I had never initially planned to do a well upgrade. But then when you guys said in the comment section that you'd like to see a better well, I thought, oh yeah, why not? So I've had a look at some sorts of choices. I've had a go at it. And there's a couple that I've came up with. One of them is the cheap man's method. The easy method of doing something like this. Those in there, those in there. I ain't even going to do it all properly because I don't like it. And those in there, something like that, you know, and it just sort of dresses it up that little bit. You can flip those over if you like to have them that way up. But to me, no, I don't like it. Why do I not like this well? There's a few reasons wrong with it. One, it's just ugly. Number two, it gets in the way. The paths literally lead into it. There's nothing ever good about the well in the middle of the village. You have to always walk round it. It's never quite the perfect size. It's not even centered because these paths are 3 blocks wide and the well is 4 blocks wide. Or 6 blocks if you include this foundation part. So it's not even centered. So, you know what I say? Get rid of it. Get rid of the original well completely. And we're going to start a new... Why can't I place blocks down there? Oh, because it was too far down, hey? Get rid of the original well. And we are going to replace it with a better looking well. In a more... in a more... what's the word? Appropriate place, aka not in the middle of the path. So yeah, just get rid of them, and we'll say it doesn't have to be far away. We can say over here, this would be perfect. Look right where the farms are. That makes a lot of sense. Now I do have a good idea about this as well. Will you move out of the way? You're right where I need to build. So for this, you're going to need stone bricks. You're going to need normal stone bricks. You're going to need mossy stone bricks. If you like, you can stick in some cracked stone bricks. And you're going to need the stairs. And you might need the slabs. I don't know if you will or not. You're going to need some spruce. I'm going to do this to fit the style of the Tudor, which seems to be the favourite style of this series. So I'm going to stick as much to the Tudor ones as I can. If you're doing the modern style buildings in your city or in your town, village, like this house was, then just don't have a well. A well doesn't make sense. And if you're doing the brick one, then you could do a similar thing, but just using brick blocks. But for the Tudor one, we're going to be using stone bricks. So you're going to first lay down 3 blocks. We're going to build it all out of solid stone bricks first, and then we'll go around afterwards and mix in some cracked stone bricks and some mossy. So this is what you're going to do first. A 3x3 in the middle. And then in the corners, you're going to go up another block like this. And then here you're going to go up 1 block on each corner. You're going to put some stairs on top of those. And then you're going to get some cobblestone walls. Oh, I missed one. There and there. You're going to get some cobblestone walls and you're going to place 2 down on each corner. 2, 3, and 4. And this is where your spruce wooden stairs are going to come in. Depending on what theme you're doing will determine what block you should really use for this roof. Obviously, oak doesn't quite go as well for the Tudor theme, but something like spruce wouldn't quite go as well with the brick theme. If you're doing the brick one, I would probably maybe even try quartz stairs. I don't know. I might be wrong there. I haven't tried it, so I don't really know. But if you're doing the brick house one like that, then you're making a village out of bricks, and you want the well to match, quartz would probably be your best bet. A little bit of a white, shiny roof on it. I think could be cool. I think that could work. If you try it, let me know. Send me a picture through Twitter, and we'll determine. We'll judge. We'll see what it looks like. We're going to put the little stairs at the end here, and the slabs over the top. I have never seen a well, apart from in Minecraft, that has the flat cobblestone roof like they do in the game. You know, this sort of 3x3 flat roof that they have up the top. It's never made any sense to me. Why? What well has a flat roof? All wells have a roof like that, if they have a roof on them at all. Most of them don't even have a roof, at least not anymore, I suppose. Alright, so this looks already a bunch better. Now what we're going to do is dig down. Just a few blocks like so. And at this bottom half, this is where your water's going to be. Water. Like this. Obviously, you want your water relatively far down. I would even go probably deeper than that, to be honest. Let's just get rid of this water. A well has to have water. This is as far deep as I can go. Yeah, a well has to have water relatively deep down inside it, because if the water was right at the surface, there wouldn't be much point having a well, would there? It would just be like a puddle. A well usually has water down in the depths a little bit that you have to then pull up with a bucket that we'll be adding in a minute. Because this area has water in it, at least a lot of the time, we're putting mossy blocks here because it sort of gets covered in water and stuff like that. We're going to stick in some mossy ones around the side here. Stick with mossy ones only on these sort of 9 blocks, these sort of 3, 6, 9, 12 blocks. On the side edges ones here, stone, I recommend just sticking in a couple of chiseled, cracked ones. Just a little cracked one here and there. Don't put any mossy on these sort of corner ones though. Put those in like that. And one more like so. Makes it look a little bit aged, a little bit more weathered. You're going to get your fence to go in the middle here. Like so. Then you get a log. We're going to get a normal oak log, not spruce. We're going to get an oak one. And you're going to put this, can I reach over there? Along like that. And you're going to stick it out, oops, this side. By another block, like so. So it looks like it's sort of being held up like it's a beam. And then you're going to come out by 3 more blocks above what we've done. So it's like 4 blocks total sticking out. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then start scoring inside the well. You're going to come down by 2 blocks, and on here, this is where we're going to put 4 fences. And I imagine, let's get some buttons. I imagine in Minecraft, we'll put a log on top as well, that this is how they would get the water up and down. So they would push this. This would be like a little, what would you call it? Like a handle, a rotating handle, and you'd sort of get, I don't know, 1 villager or 4 villagers or 2, whatever, and they sort of push this beam around, and it'll lift up the bucket full of water. Villagers aren't very strong, you see, so they have to all work together. We're going to get some birch fence because it's the whitest fence. It looks a little bit more like rope, and I'm going to put them down like this, and I'm going to get a cauldron. It's up to you where you put the cauldron. You can either do it on this sort of level so it's down in the water a little bit, or you can put it up a level so it's more up here, depending on how high you want it to actually be. I sort of like it at about that level, I think. I did try putting the ropes around like this, so it sort of looks like it's actually sort of wrapped around the beam. But in my opinion, it looks a little bit too chunky like that. I much prefer the look of just having the sort of side ones like that. It still looks like rope wrapped around the top of it. So when he turns this, it rotates that beam, lowering down the bucket, and when he rotates it the other way, it pulls it back up. Why am I getting some like framey issues when I look at this? I've created a lag switch. The lag well. Alright, now there is something else that we can add to this to what I think would make it look a little bit cooler, a little bit more functional, because at the moment it looks pretty but it doesn't actually serve much of a purpose apart from maybe an infinite water source. So to fix that, we're going to get some gates. Oh, and you might need some torches on here as well. You might get a mob spawn here maybe, so I'd recommend putting 2 torches on either side of the beam like that. That way they're a little bit hidden when you're sort of walking past. The torches are at least a little bit hidden, but it still gives enough light. These fence gates you're going to place in the middle, like that one, like that one. Can I get through there? Nope. Over the top. That one and this one. And what this does is it still looks cool. It still looks like it's sort of a barrier. But the bonus is that we can open this up and you can jump in. Now, what I was thinking, right, is everybody has a strip mine, or at least some sort of mine at their base. I think everybody has a strip mine. If you don't, then you probably should. If you want to just chill out and get diamonds without having to really do any work, then I would use this as your drop down all the way to level 12 or however deep your mine is. I usually do my strip mine at level 12 for diamonds. I find it the best level. I don't know if it truly is. It might be 11 or 12, but I find 12, at least for me, is the most luckiest. So I would have this well drop all the way down to level 12 or whatever. I can't because obviously this is bedrock here. But if I take this away, will it kill me? How deep can I go before it kills me? Oh, pretty deep. Okay, so I would drop this down. You'd go, oh, I can't even build down here. And at the bottom, right at the bottom, I would have a water drop. So you would have something like this. You'd have signs, and you place your signs like this. That one, that one, that one, that one, that one. Hello? There we go. So you got shift click, shift click, shift click, shift click, shift click, and then get your water at the bottom. So when you look down at the mine, let's imagine that this water is way far down at level 12. Imagine that we're at the surface level of our world. And we look down the well and you can just see water right at the bottom in the far distance. And when you jump down, you'll fall, you'll hit your terminal velocity, you'll die if you hit the ground. But this little water thing here is going to save you and put you at the floor at a speed that doesn't kill you. And then boom, you're down in your mine. Now to get back up, I'm going to leave up to you. There's a few ways that you could do it. You could make a water elevator. So you just sort of jump up and you make a load of these on top of each other so you can go up. It's okay, it'll get you up, you won't drown, but it's not going to be the fastest fall in the world. It's going to take actually quite a while to get down all the way to this level. If you want to have something like a minecart elevator nearby, then sure, you could have that and have like the minecart elevator come up inside one of these little houses somewhere. So you drop down the well to get into your mine, and then you come up inside one of these houses through the minecart elevator. If you don't know how to do a minecart elevator, they are pretty easy from what I remember. I haven't done one in a while, but you're going to need rail, and you're going to need minecart. And are they held up with signs? I think so. So you put a sign down the bottom. For those of you wondering, you're then going to get a couple of blocks, something like this, and you're going to drop this down. You're going to fill up this with a block. And then you get your minecart. Even the minecart. It should fall in there. It doesn't sit on top of the sign. How do you do it? I can't even remember. I can't. You'll have to Google it. This isn't a tutorial on how to build a strip mine, is it? It's your job to research. You do your work for once. Stop watching me do it. Well, watch someone else. Figure out how they do it. I've built one before. I just can't remember how. So yeah, and then you can have a mine shaft, minecart elevator coming up, or you could just have a staircase leading up out there if you're not bothered about speed. But yeah, and when you're finished with it, you just shut the gates and it looks like a normal well again. But that gives a really cool functionality to it, a really speedy entrance down into a mine. I was gonna leave the episode off there, but then I thought, the episode's still a little bit short. We'll move on to the next thing, which is a short one anyway. We're going to move on to the bedroom. We've got all of this stuff that we've built so far, but we've actually got nowhere to sleep yet. So we're going to be using one of these small houses to stick a bed in. It's only going to be used as a bedroom. It's not going to be really used for anything else. We've got 3 different types of the houses on this village, but there are 4 from what I've seen. There's this one with the logs that sort of go up. There's this one where the logs stay flat. There's this one that has the fences around the outside and that always has a hole with a ladder going up. And then there's one that we don't have, which is one that doesn't have the fences on top and doesn't have a spot for the ladder, like that. So that would be the 4 different types. 1, 2, 3, 4. But yeah, we only had 3 of them naturally spawn in this village. We're going to be using one of the ones that have one of these fences around and the hole in the middle. Well, you could use that one or the one that doesn't have a hole. Either way, just not the one that with the logs. I'm going to try and find one that's a little bit more out on its own. Yeah, something like this one. Okay, now, there's a few things. I ain't got a stair going in. There's a few things that we're going to do. We're going to do it in a Tudor's design, like what we've been doing all the way. So let's clear our inventory. Let's go over to a Tudor house. We're going to grab the dark oak, the buttons, the wool, the trapdoors, the podzol, the stairs. Well, that's a full block. The stairs, the slabs. We are going to need a slab. Slab isn't on the house though. Slab, spruce one, not dark oak, and that should be good, right? That should be good. Now, it's a really small house, so this really doesn't take long to do. This is definitely a day-long job, like a Minecraft day job, or if that. Stone brick for the foundation. So, first things first, we go around, we replace all of the bottom blocks with these. And there's two options that we've got. I like to give you a couple of options at least, like I done with the well. You got the boring option or the decent option. But there is another option with this one, and that's either keeping the roof flat like it is, even keeping the stairs, or not stairs, the fences above it, and keeping it the sort of box look, which, I mean, looks okay. It doesn't look terrible, but I prefer putting a roof on it. I definitely think in this sort of Tudor style that we're going for, it looks a lot better when you actually have a peaked roof on it. We've proven that with the well. We've proven that with pretty much every other building so far too. Don't hit the wrong block. You're wasting time. That one. And this one. So what we're going to do is we're going to complete the house first as if we were leaving it with a flat roof. So we put these ones in. We put these little buttons on to look like little dowels, little strengthening dowels. We then go around with the trapdoors on either side of the window. And then because it is such a cute little quaint house, I like to have a flower pot on every window, all three of them. Go around with trapdoors on all of the sides. And the same on this one. I like to pick my 3 flowers that I always use in plant pots. 1, 2, and 3. I don't know why I like those 3. They just look the best. White, blue, and white. And ta-da! You've got yourself a sort of a Tudor style house, but with a flat roof. And the flat roof really doesn't suit that well, in my opinion. So what we're going to do is we're going to replace this roof with a peak. So we're going to have to first remove all of the fences if you're using a fence like I am, and you're also going to have to drop these buttons down, the top ones down by 1 block, because this top layer is going to be where I might as well do that actually, yeah, where our roof is going to start. So get rid of the buttons, move the buttons down by 1, and then these will go on to here. So we have that one, we have that one, we put these in upside down, there and there, there and there. I like to do sort of 2 at a time. I find it sort of the quickest way for some reason. That layer and that layer. Stick those ones on here. Inside's pretty quaint as well. Obviously, we're very, very limited on space on the interior. So you're going to have to sort of make some decisions on exactly what you want to put in. But I'm going to have a bed, ender chest, a little bit of storage and a crafting table, just because I always like to have at least an ender chest and a crafting table in pretty much every place in this sort of sprawling base, because it can be a little bit of a trek if you're in one building and you don't have a crafting table in it. You have to go across the place to another one. It's a little bit annoying. Oh yeah, also on these Tudor houses and on this sort of well, if you're feeling fancy, you could do something like this. Add another slab to the end. That allows you to place an upside down stair on it and then put a slab back there. So put that one there, upside down slab, and then put that back. And then you end up with a sort of fancy, more Viking looking top end on it. You could do them on the houses as well, on the church even, whatever. Same as on here. Have something like, or you could even have them that way. That looks pretty cool too. Having them the correct way up. Yeah, why not? We'll go for that one here. No, I don't like it as much. I like that one better. I like the upside down a lot better. It looked okay for a minute, and then once it sort of settled with me, I decided against it. So yeah, that's what it looks like with the house on it. In my opinion, this looks a little bit better. We're still keeping this sort of shape of the house, or the size of the house at the very least. We're not changing the footprint size, but we've just made it look a little bit more impressive, I feel. I like it a lot more, don't you? Okay, for the inside, it's nice and simple, but there is an interesting little twist on this. Get rid of all those. We're going to get down the glowstone, obviously, our normal, boring carpet style that we do every single episode, just to keep everything nice and samey. I'm going to put down, I could just get away with 1 glowstone here, couldn't you? You don't need 2 or anything. Grey in the middle, black on either side. You're going to get your bed. You're going to stick your bed down on the left-hand side. You're going to get your crafting table. You're going to stick that on the right hand side, and you're going to get an ender chest as well to stick on the right hand side. I'm going to go with the crafting table there and the ender chest there. Boom, bedroom's done. But we can do a little bit more improving on this. What we're going to do is we're going to remove the roof. I'm going to get these stairs. I'm going to put these upside down here and here, so 3 on each side. I'm going to get the wool and place a wool in here, and then I'm going to get slabs. But I'm going to only put the slabs on this level. I'm not going to fill it up. The reason why I'm not going to fill it up is you'll see in a moment. I'm going to put those like that. Then I'm going to get some slabs which are made from cobblestone to match the floor that we've got in here. I'm keeping the cobblestone floor. I think it matches the colours nicely. And we're going to put the cobblestone slabs on this level, which is the top half of the top white block. Okay. We can then get a fence. We're going to put in a spruce fence to match the fences or the sort of colour of the roof here. I'm going to put in a fence there and there. I'm going to get a ladder to go up here. But you're not going to be able to actually get on here. As you can see, because of this stair in the way, you can't get on. If you wanted to, you could remove that stair, and now you could actually get up. If I wasn't bad and didn't fall off, you can get in there. I've tried. I've done it before. But I'm not aiming to get up in there. What I want is some chests. You're going to need normal chest and a trap chest if you want to do it in the same way. I'm going to put a double normal chest with a chest above it. This is why we have slabs up here, so I can still open this one. If I ended up putting a full block here, you can't open that chest anymore. So that's why you put the slab on the bottom half, so you can still open it. And then put a trap chest next to it, and that gives you quite a fair bit of storage. It gives you 2 small chests and 1 double chest full of storage in your bedroom here. You've got enough lighting. Mobs won't spawn up here. Certainly not this. That should have enough light from that glowstone. But if it doesn't, a nice little torch up on this piece of wool there certainly doesn't do any harm. I don't like it though. I thought nothing should spawn there. But yeah, and then to access anything in these chests, you just go up the ladder, and then you've got 2 choices. You can either hold shift and open up the chest. Oops. And open up the chests like that. Or you can jump and open up each one. They're all accessible, but I think the ladder's in there just to be nice. If you go up the ladder and like open this chest, for example, even when you go down the ladder again, when you fall, when you're looking in it, you still have access to the chest. So it's not like when you drop away, you lose it. I think it's a nice little shelf to have on the inside of a small bedroom. You know, we haven't got much room in here at all for anything, so being able to have an extra sort of layer there, I think looks pretty cool. And the fences across it just look pretty smart. Don't put a fence in the middle though. Put a fence in the middle. I think you can only access the top chest if you're really lucky, yeah. I don't think you can access these ones. No. So don't put the fence there. Just keep them on the outside. For the door, I like having the dark oak door. And then that's going to do it for this episode. Ta-da! If you guys enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you haven't already, then feel free to subscribe. We shall see you in the next episode. Bye!